It's just funny. The way they look, it's just funny.
The sharks?
Yeah, I just saw something and I was like, it's just funny. It just made me laugh. I have not had a fruit snack. Is my body craving gelatin?
That's weird.
I have not had a fruit snack in forever. Now I'm just like stuck on these gummies, like wanting all the different gelatinous candies.
Yeah, I think I don't believe in gummies anymore. I kind of like let those go.
Why?
I don't know.
What do you mean believe? Wait. What do you mean believe in them? They
As in. Well, I know they exist. What I'm saying, as in, my snack of choice.
Why did you let them go?
They've been demoted. I think I just ate way too many when I was young, and then now it's just like
I didn't eat enough.
Yeah, you probably had stricter parents. I was real good at hiding my candy.
Yeah, we could only get
slick.
candy on certain,
Yeah.
Like when we got our allowance, then we could get a little candy.
It is a musical. It is a miracle that I haven't had a cavity yet, though. That is nothing.
Oh, you haven't.
God.
You're right.
Yahweh.
You haven't.
God Yahweh. No, I haven't. 27 no cavities. I will knock on wood, but I don't believe in that today. Not today. Okay, I'm not. I just said it. I gotta do it now. I gotta do it now.
Who are you? Who are you?
It's 2 knocks, just to be sure.
Who are you? All right, you start this thing off.
I am the man, the myth, the legend.
It's the 4th of July. It's the 4th of July. It's the 4th of July. It's the 4th of July.
Welcome back, ladies and germs. I don't know why they say germs. It makes it sound like we're dirty. I don't like that.
Maybe y'all are dirty.
Whoa. Shots fired. We just started. We already coming at me strong. Okay.
Oh my gosh, I'm saying as a kid, as a little boy.
What?
Did you get dirty a lot?
Yeah. Did you get dirty as a little girl?
Not really. We're not.
But you wanted to get dirty though.
But that's not what this is about.
But but if you wanted to get dirty and you didn't get dirty.
I got dirty sometimes.
Okay,
but I'm
good,
saying girls are taught to stay clean and be,
That's true.
So that's
why I had to clean too.
germs.
Why had to be everybody?
You were allowed to be more. You were allowed to get dirty.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I had both sides. I got to be dirty, but I also had to clean everything up.
Well, I mean, they weren't raising ragamuffins.
Well, unfortunately,
they wanted you to learn how to clean
some
things.
Men, more than I care to admit, don't know how to.
I know,
clean.
but that's what I'm saying. There's answering your.
I'm just saying that it's just funny that you're saying that I had, but I'm like I had
You were allowed to get dirty, but then you had to get clean.
I had pressure for both. I was like pressure to be clean.
I just
pressure
feel like
to
there's
be
not as
dirty.
much pressure for you to be clean as a boy.
Well, you didn't grow up in my home. Because
I did not.
I'm the one cleaning the stuff in the home.
I did not.
I was the one organizing the closets, cleaning the kitchens, vacuuming the floors.
Kitchens, multiple kitchens. You have multiple kitchens.
Well, I mean, over the span of the homes and houses.
Oh, here I am. I'm like, you were living in. You live in a mansion or something?
That'd be wild. I had
they
two
have
kitchens.
multiple kitchens. Yeah, they're like in the summer months. We like to move to the northern end of the house.
Oh my god.
Where it's much cooler. We get a cross breeze.
Oh god.
So that's where they are.
I purposely eat meals in both of them every day, just to feel like I'm using them properly. I have to eat a meal.
Gosh.
Anyway, everyone, welcome. We are doing the Day of Independence.
Yes.
Independence Day.
Today is the 4th of July.
You know what?
The 4th of July.
Okay. I used to be crazier, happier, or whatever on the 4th. But I feel like with 2020 and its events,
it's just not the same.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
I don't even feel like the country pride. Come on, did I ever feel the country pride? Let me just be honest with everybody. I don't think I ever felt the country pride. I did feel them ribs though.
Oh my gosh.
I was ready for the ribs and the burgers.
Well, you know what? everybody feels the ribs and the burgers.
That's a good point.
So you feel like you just missed just the whole year if you don't have ribs and burgers and stuff at like one of those summer holidays.
Yeah, you kind of feel like it's.
You just feel like you missed out.
You missed summer.
You missed summer. Thank you.
You
That's
missed
exactly
it. You missed summer, yeah.
Well, today is actually my mom's birthday as well. So for me, it was always there was always a celebration, even if we don't feel necessarily patriotic, because America treats us very differently.
That is the most PC way of saying that.
I was like, I don't want to drag anyone down. I don't want to. I didn't want to make anyone, feel, like I'm about to get super political here, but you catch the drift.
Yes. The drift is caught. It's caught.
Anyway, so my mom's birthday's today. And she always grew up with like a built-in birthday party. So always gonna be someone, barbecuing, there's a picnic, there's a beach trip or something. Fireworks. She gets fireworks on her birthday. Like
that's true.
That's gotta be, I feel like if you have a birthday on any holiday, the best one probably has to be the 4th of July.
Yeah, because it's not a typical gift-giving holiday. So you have to worry about that whole hoopla of the whole no gift because it's a holiday thing.
That is...
Also, all your friends be out of school. Be out. Who am I?
Yeah.
Everyone's out of school, everyone.
You can say be out.
No, I know. I like to be PC as well.
Okay.
I know my grammars. Grammars.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, everybody be out. Go ahead.
Yeah, everybody be out of school and like in the pools and stuff. Us winter birthdays, we have it hard.
Yeah.
We have it real hard. Because who wants to go to a snow party?
Stop.
No one.
A snow party?
Hey, everyone, for my birthday, we did a snowball fight. Oh, yep, Jared got hit in the face and it hurt, but whatever.
Or it's like, hey, can everyone just shovel their sidewalks and their driveways and shovel out their cars and then drive to where I'm at so we can celebrate?
Exactly. And by the time I get there, I'm tired from shoveling myself.
And it's like, even if you live in a warmer climate, I mean, especially a winter holiday birthday. So you have your New Year's and you have Christmas, obviously.
Yeah.
It's like, everyone's still celebrating the holiday in this, like, nice warm weather wherever you live where it's nice and warm. Versus, like, in the Midwest or something where it's cold. So it doesn't even matter. If your birthday is near Christmas, as mine is, on Christmas, just after Christmas, around the New Year's, then in Valentine's Day. I just thought about that too.
That's a rough one.
Hopefully
you're in love, because...
That's a rough one.
That's hard. That's awkward. That's awkward for everyone involved. So...
People, right, if you just start seeing somebody and your birthday's on Valentine's Day, that other person, I feel like it's always the conversation that goes through their mind is like, I mean, I want to give them a gift, but I know we just started dating and it's Valentine's. I don't want to seem like I'm getting in too deep too soon.
It's always that.
It's going to seem like a Valentine's Day gift.
The gift giving really does say a lot about where you are in a relationship. So I can't imagine just having met someone and going through that. I can't. The stress. Because I'm already tempted to not spend money on people anyway. Because I just don't like spending money on people because people don't appreciate the money that's spent.
Oh my gosh.
And then on top of that,
sounds like
it's her birthday too. Okay,
yes.
That's too much. Okay, I digress.
It sounds like you've been there. You were like, people don't appreciate.
Well, I've got some horror stories. I've got some horror stories.
I remember you telling me that you had never gotten a gift.
Never.
From a girl that you dated ever until me.
Until you. Lock up your bank accounts, everyone. Do not spend it on anything that is not for you, because these hoes ain't loyal.
Oh, God.
These metaphorical hoes, every hoe out there not loyal, because it don't make no sense. And I'm not saying that the people I was with are hoes. It is an expression, everyone. I know everyone's going to be on the Twitters and the twats or whatever and talking to me. That's not what I mean. Everyone I was with before, they're great. Love them all. Whatever. Metaphorically.
Okay.
not the point. The point is, I had not gotten a gift.
Evolved right there. You just spiraled. Like it kept getting worse and worse.
It has to. It has to. If everyone thought that this was scripted, now they know it's not. So welcome to the real. Welcome to the realness.
So,
anywho, no gifts, no love. Tip your servers. All right, everyone. Independence Day.
Independence Day. We're back on it. We're back on this horse. All right.
Not the horse.
We're back on this horse.
We got off the horse.
We did. We got off, drank some water, took a shot.
A little twang.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Clanked our little spurs together, did a little dance on the tabletop with the dancer ladies, and then we got back on the horse.
Yes.
All right, so.
Do you want to do the...
Well, I feel like we don't even need to describe.
I mean,
Independence Day,
we
don't.
We don't.
We will though.
Yeah,
we will.
I think we can do one of the fastest synopses ever.
Yes. Okay.
Because it's very, very straightforward. Okay, let's just like, do you want to go? Okay, how about you start and then
you'll finish.
I'll finish. What if you don't finish? If you don't finish,
I'll try to keep it brief.
Yeah, you got it.
All right. Starts off July 2nd. There's like a science tower. It's like one of those off places where they study, like the military studies everything going on in the sky. They see something crazy. Oh no, what is it? They start sending out the info. President's like, what? That's crazy. Okay. Then all of a sudden they start seeing the UFOs approaching, and everyone's freaking out. The president's like, I'm going to stay in the White House so people don't get scared. And then they just tell everyone, if you want to leave the cities where the UFO is hovering over your homes, you can. But by no means do you have to. Everything's good. That was wrong. It was very wrong. What happens? The aliens blow like all kinds of major cities up. Like it's just all happening at the same time. Luckily, the president got out in time because smart David, the head scientist man, he warned the president, but only because his ex-wife works for the White House. So he wanted to save her. So it's like, oh, he wants to save his ex-wife.
Wow.
Yeah, which you would think anybody should feel like you would want to save someone you used to be married to. Yeah. Whether they're ex-spouse.
However, that's not always the case.
Right, it's not always the case.
Sometimes they just let the ex die.
They'd be like, oh, well, shouldn't have been still working there.
Too busy with the main now. Can't help you, ex. Sorry.
So aliens attack Earth. People they're scrambling around trying to figure out what to do. Then we see Will Smith.
And Will Smith is it the Navy he's in?
I don't know. He's like
he's one of the armed forces.
He's a pilot, so he's like
pilot
in the Air Force.
Air Force.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Probably.
But don't the Navy have pilots too? I don't know. Whatever. That's the point.
No.
Point is, we see Will Smith. He wakes up. He's like, "What's going on? Everything is left." And the huge alien force is now over his home. And he's like, yo, I gotta leave Vivica Fox because I gotta go see what's up at this here base. So he leaves in a huff, which I don't understand why all the huff, and he didn't kiss her goodbye.
We'll get more into that.
I did notice that, and I was like, wow, he was really expecting to come back, or he really didn't care. We'll see. So he gets called in, and they go and they fight a little war thing, and help me out.
I think that's pretty much it. They figure out how, the aliens are planning more coordinated attacks on more major cities, and they're like, they do find out that these aliens have been going, they're like locusts. They go to, new areas, which are different planets, to find their resources, take them, feed off of them, and then just leave. So what they have to do is obliterate, the species that lives there so that they can, take their resources. So they do find that out. So they're like, oh, before they blew them up, they're like, these are not friendly aliens, okay? These are not friendly ones. So they figure out a way
to plant a virus within the mothership. And they go and they plant this here virus. Virus puts down the incredible shields that these aliens had against the American forces. And they take down the mothership, which in turn takes down everyone else. All the other aliens. And thus winning the War of Independence Day.
And then the kid says, Happy 4th of July or something. Happy Independence Day.
And then Will Smith says, didn't I promise you fireworks? As they watch the alien ship explode. And then little man's like, yeah, he gonna be my daddy because he promised me fireworks and then I got him. So,
Oh my God.
whatever.
So that's basically the plot of the movie.
Yeah, I mean,
there were other little, subplots, but not really.
Very little.
Yeah, when you really think about it, I was trying
exactly.
to think of like what was the B plot, right? Like what was the other?
Well, all the B characters died. So.
I mean, there were little tiny little plots, kind of.
Yeah.
But not really. Like, yeah. So
it's pretty much about getting the Day of Independence.
Right. It was mostly about the fighting the aliens.
Yeah.
Taking care of that.
Yeah.
So.
You go first.
You go first.
Okay. So what I was gonna ask you a question, which is funny.
Yeah.
What are your initial thoughts on the rewatch now that we know that aliens exist in the space that we exist in?
Now I'm scared. Before it was pure entertainment value.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, I believe aliens do exist, but they're probably watching us from afar, or they'll come down here, up here, wherever adjacent. When they, wherever they are, they'll come and I'll be long gone, and who knows what will happen then. But I never thought it'd be like, oh yeah. I never thought it would be something so frequent or common that the government would be like, oh yeah, we got to release these tapes.
So what is
want these hot tapes?
What is the methodology or like the reasoning behind releasing these tapes? I don't know why they release them. I still don't know why.
Well, I don't know either, really, to be
Yeah,
honest.
because I know that they got released, and I assume,
Yeah. That they just want to come clean.
Yeah,
well, they don't want to, but they have to.
Yeah, I assume they just want to come clean. But also with the redacted stuff, how over time they just release it, you know. So I guess there's some information they feel like we should know.
Or do you feel like there's something so bad, so horrific coming on the horizon that so like let's release the really scary things first so that nobody thinks about that when this other thing comes.
Well, I mean, now that it's out there, we're gonna think about it, one. And two, I just think that my catastrophe thick skin is just real strong right now. That's not the tempting universe or anything, but it's just like we just came through a pandemic. I didn't expect that. I didn't know anything about that. So I'm not saying I'm waiting for another natural disaster. However, I'm not saying that I'm not waiting either. Because, I mean, how many times did the information about the pandemic change before something actually got done?
So that actually is something I wanted to talk about, was how this movie I felt like I saw a lot of parallels with the pandemic. Like the initial, when they were getting the first warnings that there was UFO, approaching like their planet, a lot of people kept passing the information on, but nobody was doing anything.
Yep.
Then they said, hopefully it'll just pass over us. And then it didn't.
Yeah.
And then some fighter pilots got blown up.
And then it got real.
I'm like, so you hear about these things and you don't immediately just go, well, you know what? We're just going to prepare just to be safe. We're going to get ready to put all of our defenses in place so that if something does happen, we'll be ready. It's just like the pandemic. They're like, people kept saying for years, over and over. You see how many videos there are? And they're like, Bill Gates said back in this year that we needed to be prepared for a pandemic. This person warned about it in this year. It's like, and still nothing was done to prepare us.
Well, I think it's normalcy bias in its worst form, because that's what happened in the beginning of this whole situation with the whole pandemic. Is people didn't want to accept that there was a pandemic.
Yeah.
So people kept doing the exact wrong thing to stop the pandemic, thus making the pandemic last way longer than it should have. So it's the same thing here. They had an opportunity to take the information and help everyone. However, they're like, it can't possibly be as bad as they're saying.
Yeah.
That's not true. I don't want my life and my world to be rocked like that. So you know what? I'm gonna pass it on to Jerry.
Oh my
And then
gosh.
we'll see what Jerry thinks about it. And then maybe he'll pass it on to Dan, and then maybe Deborah will get her eyes on it. And then maybe by that time it'll just pass over.
Yes.
But what actually happened is by the time Deborah got her eyes on it, 4 to 35 fighter jets have now been exploded. And Deborah
Yes.
just now seeing it now.
Yes.
So
yeah. And the way, okay, so remember the president when they kept telling him like what was going on? Him and the first lady were just, they had just no like rush about them, no worries, no stress. They were just moving as if somebody was like, "We have to leave now, or you're gonna be late for that opera." That's all.
yes.
They were like, "Oh, okay. My pearls, where are they? Oh, thank you, Diane." Like they were just so relaxed.
They were super relaxed and chill.
I feel like people in positions of power a lot of times have a distance between them and what most people's reality is. So that sense of maybe like that feeling you have of danger that's like near or something kind of gets dulled and muted the further you get removed from that. You know,
yeah,
like
that makes sense.
now you can kind of feel like, oh, something doesn't feel right about this or right now. I feel like people who are very privileged, they don't really have that unless, I don't know, unless they got parents that be like, every Saturday I'm going to test your skills.
I thought of it differently. I thought of it, they get their lives threatened all the time. So maybe that's what you're thinking. Because I just think that people that are in those positions of power, I'm not saying people that are wealthy. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about specifically the people that are in positions of power.
That's what I'm talking about too.
That have, people that want them dead. I just feel like they're a little more, like you were saying, the same thing with the distance from danger. I think there's so much danger all the time that it's hard for me to react like quote unquote normally every time.
But you know what? I think it's a different type of danger. Like, I agree with what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But it's like that, someone's saying they're gonna, they're gonna kill you. There's a plot, right? Versus, if I turn that corner, I may get shot. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, yeah.
It's like kind of still a distance to it. Like someone from a faraway land had a death threat on you.
Yeah.
Because you're, this person in power. Whereas it's like, I don't know what could happen, but I have to go walk to school.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That does make me question how much these people in power know and who knows it all. That's the question I was wondering this whole movie.
What?
Who knows it all about everything? Because they had the whole Area 51 situation where the president had no idea.
Oh, like who has the highest
highest? Yeah, because who was like, yeah, don't tell him that. And who decided who should know what when. That's what makes me
in our government?
In our government. And not just our government, however, just governments
in general.
Because it seems like if you keep going back, there's got to be one person that gave the first go.
I think I know who. It just came to me because of the person that knew in the movie. Who? The person that knew was the Secretary of Defense.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like they're the ones who really know everything.
That's true.
Like everything.
Yeah,
because it all relates back to defense.
That's true.
That's the biggest priority. I know it is for America, but I don't know about other countries, but I feel like it's a huge priority for most countries because one of the biggest threats that humans have always encountered is other people trying to like take their land, or encroach on their territory and stuff, or just wipe them out. So that's the Secretary of Defense. I feel like they're the ones who really know everything. What do you think?
I think they would have to, wouldn't they? Because if they're going to defend us all, they got to know what we got and what we're up against. Yeah,
they got to know what's going on with I feel like they even probably get briefings from, the Treasury, like
everybody.
Just to know, like, okay, we owe this much or we're this, like, that's heavy. I just thought about that's a heavy job. Did we really find out who's running shit? I think we did.
I think we did.
But yeah, that It was funny how the Secretary of Defense, though, in Independence Day was the naysayer. Remember how he was always like, you can't do that. You can't do this. And then...
Well, I think that, well, obviously all movies have to have a naysayer because, like, it's a movie. However, in real life, there's always a naysayer as well. And I think just the more I read about stuff and just, more I watch or whatever, I'm realizing that when you have a naysayer, usually means you're doing the exact thing you should be doing. Because they recognize that. Because I'm also thinking like on like a energy level. Why does this person want to mess with me now? And what I'm doing? Because I've done a million other things. Why are they picking on me with this thing? Because there's something in their spirit, something in their subconscious that's shook from me figuring out the right thing. So that's why they want to bring it down. Because they themselves may not have had it or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, very well could be.
So it makes me think that it's just... Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say? You know what I'm trying to say.
Especially if you're trusting your gut. Like with the president, he kept doing things. We kept seeing him do things throughout the movie that people were starting to lose faith in him, and like not in his staff, but the Americans.
Yeah, they started out with him being weak or something like that, right?
They were calling him weak. Yeah, just certain things he had decided to do, and it seemed like he was being influenced by the Secretary of Defense in those decisions. Were just being called into question. And they were saying also, I think they said he's a shell of a man or something. That might have been one of the things they said.
Yeah, they were just alluding to the fact that he's not the person he ran as.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's really, he's not the person he ran for the job as. But like, it wasn't until, like you said, when he finally started to listen to his own gut, follow his own compass, that he started to make decisions that were out of line with the Secretary of Defense, and that's when he started naysaying. Because he was suddenly like, he's not just doing everything I want. I'm not the president anymore. I'm not the ventriloquist anymore. And so that's why he ultimately had to fire him.
He did.
And things started to go better when he stopped listening to him.
So that makes me think about the Secretary of Defense's intuition. Is his intuition directly wrong or directly opposite of the president? Or is he ignoring it and doing what he wants to do?
I think this is what it is. He was not elected for the job that he wanted. He wanted to be the president, but he wasn't. And so he found a way to still be like, kind of like be the president. If there's someone who's doing everything you tell them to do and they get to take all the criticism, you can make all kind of choices and make all kind of mistakes, and it's fine, right? Because you're not the one that's getting in trouble for it. Or if you get to feel like you're the one running the show from behind someone else, then I feel like that's the ultimate power.
Yeah, everyone wants a fall guy.
Yeah, it's
or
like
a woman.
Yeah,
woman.
Exactly. So I think that's what it was, and he just wasn't good at the job because the people didn't elect him.
That's true.
He was, appointed, but he just wasn't good at the job, and that's why things kept going left the longer the president kept listening to him.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it makes me, I do love how they set that up in the beginning, that he was not himself because of this other guy. Because when he, quote unquote, finally found himself is when he himself was able to save the day, as opposed to, help out the squad. So that makes me question, ask you, words, lost them all for a second. We're back. It makes me want to ask you this. Do you need a squad? I mean, do you need a squad?
What do you mean?
Because a lot of time in these movies, or just life, when you listening to, your squad, a lot of time they be leading you hella astray. And then,
well, that depends on who is in your squad.
That's a good point.
Like,
I'm talking about specifically these movies and stuff. Like, just when you watch film and stuff. But I guess they wouldn't put out, a good squad. That's not fun.
Right. Well, I mean, his whole squad wasn't bad. It was literally just that one.
That's true.
So once he got rid of that person, everything was fine. He had great people, like, working around him. Remember?
So is the lesson always watch the squad? And we have to,
The lesson is
replace
make
somebody in the squad. Make adjustments
as necessary.
Make adjustments. Yeah, your yearly evaluation, you didn't pass. So I'm gonna need that friendship bracelet back.
Don't we all well, not all. The friendship
and
bracelet.
return the shoes.
Bury the friendship bracelet dramatically, as I did. Remember, I was like, yeah, no, actually. That is actually a great point. You said you get a yearly assessment. I mean, aren't those the people that have great friend circles as they assess over time?
That's true.
You can't keep the same friends that you had when you were 5 years old, or even sometimes like 13 or even 25.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you are constantly changing, hopefully, and growing for the better, hopefully, right? So then those people you first met, some of them, they not going to be there. No, yeah, you got to assess and be like, you know what? I don't really feel like this person is a friend, so they didn't make the cut.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that's something I had to learn as I got older, because I thought that in order to be a successful adult, you had to have carried your friends over from childhood, because that's what I was taught. Like, everyone, if you're going to be friends with them, you had to have known them since you were like fucking 4, you know? It doesn't count if you weren't a kid. So I feel...
It doesn't count if you didn't meet when you were kids.
You didn't meet in the sandbox?
It didn't happen. Then it's not a real friendship.
Then it's not real. Then it's fake. It's anyway. So I had that thought for so long. So unfortunately, I think I carried a lot of people with me for a while that I just didn't need with me. And when you realize that, and you look back on, you know, the relationship with that person as a whole, and you think, well, this relationship could have ended 12 other times.
Yes.
before I actually, you know, pull the plug on it. But it just really showed my growth, and, you know, the universal you know, when people grow. If they're able to assess their friends and be able to have the strength to, you know, cut a mofo off if they have to. Let them go. Let them go. Let them go.
Exactly. And what I've learned is as sad as it is to say. Like, so there's different ways that you can cut somebody off. There's the, like, you just stop talking to them because they're just toxic, and you're like, you know what, I just need to end this now. Should have ended a long time ago. And you just stop speaking to them, you know? And then there's the, all too often, when you try to have a conversation with that friend and tell them how you're feeling and how you've been feeling, and either that conversation doesn't, you know, go well and they get mad and, you know, just that's it, or as was the case with me, they, you know, then try to turn it around on you and be like, saying some bullshit, and then you're like, okay, well, I'm sorry if you feel that way, then, you know, I understand, cool, we'll work on this. You feel like I did some things, but conveniently you never said what those things were, but whatever, fine. And then they continue to do the things that you just said. They just said they would not do anymore. It's like, you feel like you're trying to make this friendship work. You're trying to save it. And you think with false hope that it will be saved. And then they just show you that nothing's going to change and that you just got to let them loose. But, you know, I will say, I guess I personally feel better with my situation that I at least did try. I guess some people you want to see, you want to at least feel like you tried.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Some people.
At the same time, don't feel obligated to try. Because there's some people I tried with that I should not have tried with. And when I look back on those people in those situations, I knew I shouldn't have tried when I was trying. However, the deeper part of me, the greater good in me, it's like, everyone will hold my hand in kumbaya, so I must make sure they make the circle. No. You gotta let them be out of the circle.
You gotta let them, like Oprah says,
excuse me, everyone,
you have to love them from afar.
From afar.
Yeah.
From
Just
afar.
Better for you, for your mental health.
Yeah.
So the president got rid of the dead weight.
Stop. Stop.
Okay, can we talk about how the president the president was like, all right, people are evacuating. Everyone's evacuating like major cities and stuff. Okay, well, you know what? I know there's a spaceship right here over me, but I'm just going to stay because I don't want people to panic. If they panic, then, it'll be all craziness downhill from here. So I'm going to stay here, and I'm not going to issue a real warning. And then the scientist comes and says, the aliens are going to just blow everything up below them in a matter of minutes. So when people had time to leave, the president didn't tell them to. But what does he do? He doesn't say, you know what? I should have to suffer just like these people who stayed because I didn't issue an emergency evacuation. I deserve to stay here and face it with them. He goes, Air Force One.
He's too busy politicking.
He whistles. He damn near whistles for the Air Force One to come around. They all hop in, and he's saved. And then remember, he was like feeling bad. He's like, "Oh, those people! I could have done something." I'm like, "Yeah, you could have."
Well, that's politics. He was too worried about the re-election and making sure he came off as a calm president in a time of a storm. Well, all those people that would have said that are now dead because you let them die. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what?
Yeah, I should feel bad for this character, but I don't. I don't feel bad at all because he was too busy watching TV with his daughter, reading his little books to not even warn the maid down the street that the alien's gonna blow up her and her family.
Yes. And she was only 1 week away from retirement.
1 week. It's always 1 week.
They always do.
They never make it. Everyone will always retire early.
They always have
Everyone
one week
retire
left.
early. Because they will never let you make it to that day. And if you do make it to that day, you always going to have a fourth of the money that you was promised. So,
Dang.
Retire early and make your own retirement plans. I don't know who should be sponsoring this, but I'm going to hit them up for the next retirement speech. I don't know. It's going to come in there one of these episodes. Somebody going to be retiring. So, we going to get a sponsor. Hook y'all up. But until then,
I want to shift gears.
Save your monies.
Save your money. I want to shift gears for a minute. Let's get to what we're really here for. Because I felt like the movie did this too. It was like we were waiting for Will Smith to make his appearance. Yeah. They had to set up a lot of things. So let's get to the Will Smith parts of the movie.
The Will Smith of it all?
Yeah.
I like to call him Willard. I don't know if anyone cares, but I call him Willard at home.
At home. That's the key. Those are the key
home.
words.
At
home.
Home.
Right, you better not call him Willard outside.
I'm not trying to get muffed.
Doors.
I don't know what that means, but it's going to happen if I say it outside.
Well, look, Will Smith's character was very much unbothered.
Very much unbothered.
When he, so when he first got called away, like you were saying earlier, he was, I don't understand what was going on, why the attitude, but he just wasn't being very warm at all to Vivica. And he's like, what's wrong? Why are you huffing and puffing? When she was like, I know you're not going to go and walk and leave. And he's like, I got to go. They're calling me back on base. And then he goes, what's wrong with you? And she opens the blinds and shows him, like, this is what's bothering me. The damn UFO that's over LA. And I'm like, you're right. He's just going to leave her? Not give her any instructions that say, hey, I just, for the sake of you and your son, how about you guys just, go to Arizona, okay? Or drive to Nevada. Just because right now this is happening and then I get called in and I have time off for the holiday, I'm just feeling like some real, like we ain't never seen aliens before, okay? So go and get safe. He's just like, and leaves in a huff. And then he doesn't even give her a kiss. And she has to come out there and go, be safe now, you hear? What?
Did he leave her because she was a stripper?
No,
just hear me out.
No, they implied that that's not why he left her, but that's why he didn't marry her. That's what they implied.
Well, I'm saying they were implying that, basically, she's a stripper, and everyone is just like, no, she should not be a stripper. You shouldn't be able to strip her. Also, why is she a stripper? Not the point. But when they were talking about it, and he left her or whatever, the dude, his best friend, was basically like, well, basically she's a stripper, so it doesn't really matter.
Exactly. Like, they kept like saying, like they made it a point to keep saying how how she was a stripper and how she doesn't deserve love.
I did not understand it. So after watching the whole movie, I was like, so his inner turmoil was like, should I marry this stripper or not? What are my boys gonna think if I marry a stripper? Because that's what it seems like.
Because did you notice? Because like you said, right in the beginning, remember when they said she was a stripper? And we're like, why did they make her like? I don't understand how that works with the storyline. Like, why did they make her a stripper? It just didn't make sense. But then it made sense because they were trying to. I guess that's how they explained how Will Smith's character, why he hadn't married her. Because that's another thing. I was like, why is it that they're they're a couple that's dating? Why aren't they married? Because usually in movies like this, they always want to like have establish like a family. So when they get separated, you feel really sad. Like, oh my gosh, what's happening? But they had them as a couple and kept emphasizing that she was a stripper. And I'm like, are they trying to basically tell us, look, it's okay for him to leave her behind because they're not married? I was like,
pretty much.
Does he not care about her?
Well, they sleeping in the same bed, and they got a kid together, even though it's technically not his kid.
Yeah. Right, they have a kid together now, right?
Yes.
It's a stepkid.
So I thought that was real weird. I genuinely didn't see the point. And then we had that whole like little stripper scene where she was like a stripper. And I was like, why? It was the first time when I watched
Right, they wanted to make sure you heard right, like, no, listen, we are going to show her actually stripping so you really can see and understand why he would leave. Like, I feel like that was just really sexist.
It was. And then it didn't have her stripping in an empty place. I'm like, why is she still stripping?
Right, why did they make her still come in? There's UFOs.
People are dying left and right, bombs.
And she still had to come in for her shift.
And she's stripping for nobody. Literally no one's watching her. Everyone's watching the news. So we had this scene.
It's a sad day. It's a stressful day when people are watching the news
at a strip club. So we just had this scene here just to make sure y'all knew that she was a stripper for real. Not a play stripper.
Oh my God.
For real stripper. So
not a stripogram.
Exactly. So I did have an issue with that up on this watch. Because I'm like, it did not serve the story, and it just didn't. We just didn't need another black woman stripper. We just didn't need it. But I'm saying, not to shame strippers.
No, I get what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
But it was very
seems
specific.
Like that's how they portray us. Yes. Right. It's like, oh well, in this movie, we gotta make his girlfriend a stripper.
She has to be a stripper.
Right.
And she gotta have an illegitimate kid when we don't know who his dad is. We don't know. He's not in the picture. And she's gotta love the first lady.
Oh,
has to love the first lady with all her heart and soul.
But like, this is my thing. This is my thing. Yeah, instead of trying to like stripper shame or like be, sexist, they could have just said, what is a reason why a man maybe would be hesitant to marry his girlfriend? Here's an idea. Maybe it's because she has a kid and he feels he's not ready to be a father. Oh, done. I did it. I just did it. I literally came up with that on the spot.
Oh my God. And
but these movie executives.
And all you need to do is just have a few scenes of him thinking about having a son, or like, he come back and then they run, his friend's son run.
No, I was thinking about his friends being like, you're not ready to have, I mean, for real, are you serious? Are you ready to be a dad? Kind of giving him the pressure of like, you're not ready. You was just at then you can have the strip part. You was just at the strip club with me last week. See, there I brought it back. It is. So you got both. You get to keep the stripping in there.
Because it's imperative to sell these movies, as they say. Even though Black Panther made over $1 billion with not one strip show.
Oh, God.
But whatever. That doesn't matter.
But yeah, so anyway, we digress, but it's like, yeah, we were
that's important. We needed to say that.
What was the point?
We needed to let them know that she didn't need to be a stripper.
And so he was so unbothered. And then when downtown LA got blown up, remember he was not even like...
Not phased.
They were like, Harry Connick Jr. was like, man, she probably got out in time. And Will Smith's like, yeah. It's like, I don't know if he actually said
right.
Yeah his face said yeah. He didn't say it, but his face was like, yeah, you're probably right.
This hyper
Like,
masculinity
how?
junk I did not like in this movie. I'm like, can this man have a feeling about anything? This whole time he's
that's
like,
your girlfriend and her
bro,
son.
Nah, bro, nah. She a stripper and I ain't marrying her. Oh wait, the world's gonna end? All right, let's hit this courthouse real quick.
Right, because then they did get married. Exactly. Right before he went to go fight the aliens, like, for good, he goes and gets married.
My thing is, okay,
He marries her. Yeah.
This is what makes me really unsettled about the whole marry before battle thing. Not just in movies, but in real life. It makes me feel that the heightened emotion of the battle made you marry this person, not because you saw yourself spending the rest of your life with them.
I mean, that's the case probably sometimes.
Okay, because that's what it felt like to me. It felt like he was out. I had one more thing on my bucket list, y'all. I had to get married. So, before I got this little woody I've been talking to for a minute, we can hit this courthouse. My man's no man's. And we can get married real quick. And then I can say I did that just in case I die before we go.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, though. That's exactly what okay, I don't think it's a coincidence that a lot of people in the military, even when they're young, they get married really early.
Oh, yeah.
Like, one of my exes, who was a Marine, he had been married, and he was only, like, 27.
Yeah.
He had been married and divorced already. He got
One
married
of my
at, like,
friends'
early 20s.
brothers was the same way. By the time he was 25, I think.
Yeah, it's because you don't know.
Yeah.
You want to feel like you did something that's such an important milestone in, like, a lot of people's lives. It's like, you know, marriage. That's like the big thing that everyone always talks about and look forward to.
Yeah.
So they feel like they want to have a part of that.
Yeah. It just really makes me hate war, you know? Especially because we have something that's so great, you know, between you and I. And that these men and women are going out with the thought of not being able to come back to that ever.
Yeah.
And I understand that I mean, it's similar when you travel a lot, but obviously there's the whole, you know, dying part of it that's different.
Exactly.
So I just really feel for those people because I've seen and I've heard of so many stories where people get married and either they go to war and they don't come back the same, or they unfortunately don't come back, and it's just like I don't know. They tried to recruit me back in high school. I had big shoulders.
Which branch?
And it was like, yo, I think it was the Army. I'm not 100% sure because it was a fast no for me.
Oh my gosh.
However, I think it was the Army. That is not to shame the armed forces. I thought we need them.
Yeah,
we genuinely do need them. However, I know that that's not how I would best serve the world.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody can't do it. Everybody can't do it.
Yeah. And I just hate that we have war anyway. I wish we had, say, in a perfect world, we have armed forces, and then when we have, you know, country strife, there's just like this big...
Airdrop?
No, not airdrop. No, there's this big, like, games, right? And you got your armed forces, and then y'all go to this big arena, and then y'all blow up y'all shit, and then it gets scored. And then the other country goes.
Who can blow up the biggest
and
arena?
they blow up shit. They blow up their shit, and then it gets scored. And then whoever has the biggest explosion, with no casualties, no one dies. It's just about, like, who's got the biggest explosion. And then everyone gets to shoot their guns and blow up their things, but no one has to die.
Yes.
So, putting it out there for the world.
I mean, yeah, it just, like I think you said it perfectly. It's just sad, you know, but again, it's like something we need. Right? Yeah. I mean, because if we didn't have the armed forces, we wouldn't have been able to fight these aliens.
Exactly.
We need soldiers. Like every great civilization, we need soldiers.
It just sucks, but yeah, we do.
But yeah, another thing about the movie was what the dad. Oh wait. I was gonna talk about when the dad was talking to his son. He was just so sweet. The older dad talking to the scientist man.
Yeah.
He was just the best dad. He was the best dad ever. He was just. It was funny because he kept annoying him and stuff by just like talking so much and being all like, "What are you doing? You use your brain to go." Install a cable. You're so smart. You could be doing more. And I like how they opened up with him and his dad playing chess together. Mm-hmm. And just to show you their dynamic and their relationship. That was just such a good father-son relationship.
I think we don't see that enough. Actually, I know we don't see that enough. And unfortunately, I don't know why we don't. I don't know why we don't. And I'm not saying with any specific race or anything, just a positive father-son thing.
Yeah.
So I do you have any guesses as to why?
That's why
I
we
have
don't see
no
a lot
idea.
of positive father-son relationships.
Yeah, just represented anywhere really.
I think because most of them are strained.
Oh God. Well,
It's like with mothers and daughters, like a lot of mother-daughter relationships are strained. I just don't feel like you hear of a lot of mother and son relationships being strained. That's why you have the whole mama's boy thing or daddy's girl, you know.
that's true.
Not to
That's
say
true.
that there aren't those that are, but I think it's just more common that fathers and sons have their issues and mothers and daughters have their issues.
Yeah.
So that's why. So that's why it was so nice to see their relationship. And even though his dad got on his nerves, his dad was always there for him. And even when he was drinking, remember he was like down in that bottle, his dad came and told him, like, you can't give up hope. You know, I hadn't talked to God since your mother died, but, you know, you gotta like pull it together, basically. And I love how he snapped off on the president and the Secretary of Defense and whoever that other guy was. And he snapped on them for his son. They were basically thinking of dropping nukes, remember? On the other countries where the other UFOs were. And, you know, the scientist was like, what? Then if you all drop nukes, they're going to fire nukes at us. Like, because you're just going to be killing people while also killing the aliens. You're just killing everybody. And they were all, you don't know what you're talking about. Get him out of here. Get him off the plane. And his daddy came out and said, you get your hands off of my son. He didn't say it exactly like that, but this is how I interpret it. You get your hands off my son. First of all, you need to be thanking my son because none of y'all would be here if it weren't for him. Didn't he come to the White House and warn you all that there was a signal they were coordinating to blow up everything, which included the White House? Didn't you and your child get out in time? Okay then. So you should be thanking my boy. And I was like, that's right, Dad. That's right, Dad.
Yeah.
He told them off. I was like, that's right. Because that's true. People forget so quick how you just saved them or how you just helped them. And they want to turn on you the minute that they want to do something crazy or you disagree.
Exactly.
It's like,
So
what?
true. So true.
I'm trying to think, was there anything else about this movie that... Oh, you want to talk about how Vivica was all saving all the people, remember?
Oh,
Her
yeah.
role?
Yeah.
How she was saving people.
She just in all of these big action movies, not all of them, but for a good portion of them, there's always a woman, usually a black woman, that goes around and caters to the world of injured people. And in this movie, she found a truck and was just picking up the injured on the way to wherever she was going.
She was going to Will Smith's army base.
Yeah, to the base. Yeah. I just think it's frustrating to see this, knowing how black women are treated in America, and it just makes me feel like the reason in Hollywood black women are always in this role is because that's how Hollywood sees black women. It's like you all are the help. You all help us stay alive, as opposed to thriving yourself. It's basically we're human bandages for them.
Damn,
It's
I'm
like-
not the human bandage. Where she told the other stripper, she's like, please don't go there to that party when they were like holding up signs welcoming the aliens.
Yep.
And she's like, please don't go. I just have a bad feeling. Again, right? This trying to save
Yep.
this white woman who's like, no, but I'm gonna go because I made the sign already. You see, I already spent the $1.69 on the poster board, and then that was like, it was like $8 for the markers. So I really want to use this sign, and then she got blown up.
She did get blown up.
But it's like, right, she was going around having to try to save all the white women.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whole movie. That's not a coincidence.
Oh my
I
gosh.
will say. I must say.
They really didn't give her, like, they had her doing that, but she still didn't get a chance to shine. I still felt like she was just kind of...
Corey, she had zero chance to
She
shine.
was kind of just like an ornament in the movie.
She was.
Right?
She was.
And it was like, wow, okay.
A stripper ornament.
Wait, I forgot she saved herself, and the dog, too.
Yeah, she saved everybody. She saved everyone but got no shine in the movie. So that makes no sense. Well, actually, no. That is the plight of the black woman in America.
Yes, exactly.
So I guess maybe they got it right on accident.
On accident. On accident. They're like, so basically, you know how black women... Like, these are how they talk in the exec meeting, okay? So basically, you know, you guys know how, like, black women are always saving the day, right? Right with Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if it weren't for my nanny... Wow, I tell you, okay, I would have gotten my hands stuck in
I'd
that
still be in
toilet
diapers, personally.
so many times.
Still be in diapers.
I say
Peeing
that
on
all the
myself.
time.
Peeing on myself.
I say that all the time to my kids. And their nanny helps them. But, you know, if it weren't for black women, where would we be? But we don't want to, like, really, you know, the unwritten rules.
Yeah.
We don't want to really say
The whole
that
mammy
outside
thing.
These
We
walls.
can't say that.
Yeah.
That's not a thing we can say.
We don't want to let the rest of the world know that, but we'll kind of say it, but without really giving her flowers, you know.
Never a
her
flower.
props.
Yeah, only dead roses.
Sorry.
Yeah.
My character would not say flowers without really giving her, you know, her honor. You know, he doesn't know what giving her flowers is.
That's
so
a good
let me
point,
go back. We don't really want to
All
acknowledge that.
right, okay.
Let me take that again. So what we're
Jeez.
gonna do though is so she's gonna be a stripper. She's gonna be hot, banging body. I just learned that from my stepson. Banging, that's a word. Banging body, and you know she's gonna go around basically saving everyone as my nanny, Ellie, did. And
Mine was Stephanie.
But she'll get the least amount of lines, right? That's what Tom, your character says. But she won't really be like.
Yeah, but she won't really be a part of it.
Oh yeah, exactly. No, she won't.
Yeah, she's not gonna make the poster.
No, not at all.
Or the credits.
And they're like, I think we did it again.
She's one of those uncredited actors. She's just uncredited.
But yeah, so she was saving everybody and everything, keeping it all together while looking amazing. Yes. And why they had to kill the first lady?
That was horrible.
Why she had to die?
That was horrible.
That really did break my heart. I was like, I got attached to her so quick.
I didn't. So maybe.
Oh.
I don't know what that's about for me, but I did not get attached to her.
I just got attached to her this time around. Watching, I got attached for a little bit. And then when they said they couldn't stop the bleeding, I was like, I think it was the fact too that then they went back to her and she got to talk to her daughter and the president, and they got to share an embrace that really broke my heart because I was like, she knows this is her last moments.
That's true.
It broke me. So anyway, what else do you want to add anything else about the aliens?
No, not
moving.
specifically. No.
Oh, the aliens did creep me out. That was what I wanted to say. The last thing.
They are
How creepy they looked. Especially when they were at the end and they were like, basically their ship was docked. Their spaceship was docked
freaky.
with all the aliens kind of looking back and they were getting their wires crossed.
Yeah, that was
They
really
were
freaky.
those shots of the aliens just like looking back and forth and trying to push the buttons and undock the ship. It was creeping me out.
Yeah, it was a mess. They did scare me.
They made them look good and ugly.
They do.
Yeah. Well,
They
I mean,
really
I feel like that's it. You know?
Yeah, I can't think of anything else to say.
It makes you feel I felt really patriotic after the movie.
Yeah, that's true.
I was like, we did it. We did it again.
Oh my God.
We beat them. Okay. Well, if that's it, then I think that's all. I think we should just go back to our own celebration.
Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. Yes. All the beers. I'm into beer this year, everyone. I don't know if that matters to you, but I'm into beer. So.
We're all into beer after last year.
Oh God. So yeah, give us a follow at Brownie Sunday Podcast. Don't know what we're doing next. I guess we'll figure that out. Any final thoughts, Corey?
No, I gave mine. The aliens creeped me out at the end. That was it.
Yes, they did.
It's enough to haunt my dreams.
Oh God.
It's the 4th of July.